Transmogrify is an interesting word, and if you ever get a chance, try and get some old Kelvin and Hobbes books. Those of you that know me know that I'm passionate about Magnorail. I'm always seeking ways of trying to get different things moving, and I thought I had it won with Lego. I was able to get all this old, they call it vintage Lego now because it's over 40 years old, moving around, which I've been to 2 brickventions, which are the big displays, taken it there and shown people, but the Lego people just weren't interested because it wasn't Lego underneath. I was very disappointed. To me, this is what Magnorail was all about. Making the immovable movable without any great technologies and mechanics and gears and batteries and anyhow. That in mind, this simple layout, we decided to pull the pin and do something else with it. So rather than keeping it going, we decided to transmogrify the Lego layout. We transport our layouts in the trailer in a special rack that was made by some of the guys from the train club. Thank you very much, guys. Cato Lake could go on the top rack and Lego underneath, but the Lego was just that bit wider, so one of the first tasks was to cut off some of the foam so it would fit in and slide nicely without impeding anything. After that, it was a matter of assessing what we were going to do, so I wanted to have a hill for bikes to go up, still retain the 2 loops on the water side, and then using my Dremel I carved new channels into the foam and used some of the old channeling, so I didn't rip it all up, and it was a case of what I could reuse, I reused. I was lucky to have some scraps of this yellow foam left over. As I've said previously, I don't like the new blue one that Bunnings have got, but this yellow stuff, top notch. I just hope someone decides to bring it back into Australia when the shipping prices drop down a bit. With the Dremel, it doesn't have to be precise in terms of the width, because the channel will lock in whatever the curve you do. The thing is, it has to be the right height. The groove has to be the right depth, sorry. You can't have it too low, otherwise the magnets won't do the grip, and you can't have it too high, which means that your road bed or whatever you're doing, pathway, is raised. So it's getting that done correctly in the first instance, making sure that it is the perfect depth, and then routing it out. Obviously the turning circle has a different depth, but it's just a matter of changing that. So this one, what we call the targa, which is where the cars are coming, uses some of the old layout and also brings in some of the new. So basically it's coming down this strip, going under the hill that we're going to have the bikes on, and then coming out, doing a turn, and then coming on to what I call the skid pan. And the skid pan is where it's supposed to be a dirt part of the track, and a couple of the cars really do some nice skids on it. Those of you overseas won't know that the Targa, that's T-A-R-G-A, is a cross-country sedan race in Tasmania, where they go through bush tracks, navigating very tight turns. Sometimes there's a few accidents. There have been some deaths on it, but generally speaking it's for the mad crazy saloon car people. So you see the two turning circles there, so they give it a nice twist and back. The outer circle on the boat is for the jet skis, and the inner one is for the yachts and the sailboards. As with all my layouts, I do some insulation underneath just to reduce any noise bouncing off the trestle tables. And also we have to put trains on it, because you can't go to a train show without a train going around. So I got all these lengths to create a raised area around the whole layout, and then covered in plaster bandage for scenicking purposes. Here we see putting on the bicycle path, which I've used on several of my layouts. There is a clear laminate underneath that. I'm not just putting it on top of the chain, so it's going onto a sealed surface. The beauty of this is, apart from having the bicycle logo printed on it, is that it's very flexible and you can sort of bend it round corners. The only downside is once it's down for good. So you have to be very precise and careful as you're installing it, because if you make a mistake, it's a lot of work to remove it again. If you're interested, most of your hobby shops supply it. It comes in the brown one you see, and also a charcoal or black one. So if you can read German, that's what you've got to ask for. As you can now see, the train track is all covered, not installed yet, but we'll get there. The green matting, we also sell this as well. It's just a way of getting a big bulk bit of green onto your property. And we also sell the lake water, which has small ripples on it, which if you see in a later one, you'll notice that it diffuses the light, it doesn't reflect it, which is excellent. So this is with the Targa running, with competitors lining up and a couple of cars on the track at the moment. This was all done in preparation to take it to Sandown exhibition, so the railway line wasn't installed, and we had an under construction sign on top, but it gives you the rundown of what it looks like. We displayed the turning circle so people could understand how Magnorail works, and then as they come out of the tunnel, they do a loop through the 2 return loops onto the skid pan in the top of the picture there. Yeah, it's going to look good. We'll be getting the scenicking done, or transmogrifying, as Calvin would say, this onto the next stage, which we'll see in a moment. As mentioned before, our lake water diffuses the light so it doesn't distract from the surface. The blue is printed on our A3 printer, and which allows you to change the depth of the water just by using different colourings around the outside or towards the inside. So you can have shallow on the outside and deep blue on the inside. I thought I'd finished the layout to get it ready to go, but then the head and chief transmogrifier said no, it's not ready. So she got busy putting down ground cover and trees, filling in cracks and gaps, and just beautified the whole lot. And what a great job she did. She did transmogrify my layout up to the next scale. So it's handy having someone like that, because yeah, I'm hopeless when it comes to such things as the landscaping and the finer modelling needed to finish off a layout. So thank you to the transmogrifier. it's come up a treat, and I appreciate the work that she put in for us. One of the things once we've got it all done is that we get some hair lacquer and just spray it over all the scatter, and that way it just ensures that everything stays stuck to the ground, and also stops it from blowing any scraps around during transportation. So it just sort of keeps it all together. As you can see, it has just lifted the whole thing and made it look fantastic. You'll be seeing some mentions here of some of our stock that we use: the playground, the little tourist carts, perfect for this situation, and of course the new, at the time, the 3D printed new tandem bicycle. And then zipping around the lake, we now sell the jet skis, but not with riders on them. At this stage it's just the jet skis by themselves, but as you can see, they're 3D printed and they can be adapted very easily to work on Magnorail. This is part of the decoration of the lake. Yeah. We'll just show you some of the operational parts of the Targa. You'll enjoy this. Watch the white car coming around. He loves to do a bit of a spin out. Here he comes. Oh. We did get the trains going around the edge and all ballasted and that, but I haven't had a movie of it yet. I don't know why. Next time.